Well, it's a beautiful fall morning. It doesn't happen too often. I get back-to-back days to fish in the out front, just like this. So I'm gonna try to work off what I did yesterday. And to top it off, we're gonna drop an underwater camera on a couple of these spots that hopefully should have a couple fish. So we're gonna start on some natural bottom first. I'm gonna move back to the wrecks. Looks like I've got till about noon before the wind kicks up. We gotta try to be as efficient as possible. We'll probably get on our first spot around 8 a.m. So here we go. Here, see all that stuff? That's definitely a certain type of bottom. There's definitely a good chance of finding some fish there. So let's make this my first drop. All right, so this one's a little different. Right here is an underwater camera that I've dropped down as I'm fishing, well, above here. I usually drift these around when I'm fishing some new bottom. If you look at last year's winter videos, I dropped the camera down a couple times. So this is the first time I'm fishing this area, well actually second, but this is the first time I'm actually seeing what it looks like on a camera. In addition to natural bottom, there's a good amount of growth, as you can tell. And also, of course, what we're paying attention to is what kind of fish are down here. This is what was going to be the most interesting thing to see on camera. These guys, man, these are ringtails, these are pigfish, these are, I think these are scup. So those are, you know, more of the, I guess, the nuisance fish, some small black sea bass. So a lot of really small stuff. I'm drifting in this camera, so this would be a lot easier to do on a boat or anchored up. And I could just set that camera aside. So I'm constantly moving it around, and sometimes I don't get a great glimpse of a certain species. I'm also fishing up top. So some interesting stuff ends up being caught, and we don't see too much of that on the camera too. So, well, this is kind of how I figure out a new fishing spot, or learn it, or just kind of build confidence in some fishing techniques. Don't forget, I am kind of new to this state, and I'm just learning what a natural bottom looks like over here. And I always like to see what I don't catch, just in case there's a technique I'm doing wrong. And on this particular day, this wasn't too lively. At the end of the day, I think I did okay compared to what I ended up seeing on this camera. I mean, I'm showing you guys right here at the bottom and the majority of the fish that I did see down here. So you can kind of compare what I do up to the surface, the techniques I'm employing, and what the actual fish down there are. Little black sea bass that are about 4 inches. Oh, that's not good. So what can we do here? To remedy this single jigget, that's not a bad idea. Something. Something hopefully decent. Oh. Gosh, still we're catching these guys, huh? Seems like everywhere I'm going I'm finding flounder. This species is a... Look what he's eating, man. Everywhere I'm going, this is the species of flounder I'm finding. That looks like a croaker. Yeah, I think that's a croaker. Well, that's a nice Gulf flounder. He's probably like a 20-incher. Definitely not a threatened flounder, but all right. We're spot, croaker, we're spot. Well, we were just jigging, man. I had my camera off, and on the teaser, we got our first good fish to catch, and that's Pompano, out here kind of deep in 50. I never really caught him that deep. He hit the crab. I can't get it out of him, unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't caught too many Pompano around here. Near shore, but we decided to give he decided to like the crab, and that's a nice Pompano, man. So we'll enjoy a fresh Pompano, as always. I love me some Pompano, man. So the gist of it, there's a lot of different types of fish out here. The problem is there's also a lot of not so great types of fish out here. So we've got Pompano, right? Probably grunts are here, and some keeper black sea bass should be around here somewhere, but you know, you gotta work for all this. It's not easy to find them. Well, we got ourselves a bluefish. We're gonna chunk him up. I feel like there's still a shot at something decent here. Not too sure. Feels decent. It's probably bluefish though. My guess. It ate a chunk of bluefish, so probably more bluefish is my guess. What is it? Oh, grunty grunt. Guess they like bluefish too, huh? That's a nice size grunter. This is a fine eating fish to join. Not too sure how well they freeze, but we blew up his stomach, so we'll keep him anyway. Pretty good eating fish though, man. As long as we could stay away from the oyster toadfish, we'll be all right with the bluefish. And more bluefish, obviously. It's a nice size grunt though. Like that. Pompano and grunt. Couple decent hits there, man. I think that's lizard, right? It's gotta be lizard. Something good. Redfish, maybe. Got him up a little bit. I had to work that for a minute, and I was on the chunked bluefish. I sure hope that's not a shark. Good head shake. If it's a shark, we'll remind ourselves why we don't fish chunk baits very much. It's been slow, man. Glad we're starting to see some better stuff in the mix. You know, I'm not on the wrecks where the stuff that's kind of popular, and I'm really just learning some stuff here. And to see that's good. I don't think there's many reds on this stuff here. It's probably just a couple. Ooh, this fish is fighting hard. Nice 40-inch class fish. All right, oh, got ourselves a very nice redfish. Join our little panfish combo. See ya. Holy shit. Shark. Right? That's gonna be a shark. Oh, I won't like what this is. Hit the bluefish chunk. Fucking hate these things so much. Dangerous shit right here. Come on. Just do us a favor and break off. Thank you. Gosh. Thumbs down. I don't like me no sharks. Have at it. Well, so that was 2 days. Kind of diverse, right? There's a lot of great eating fish out there, and there's a couple ones that always stand out to me. Pompano, triggerfish. I actually have not caught a pompano jigging out in the ocean yet until this video on natural bottom. So I'm also not fishing profiles that small for them. So that opens my eyes. But what was interesting, we didn't see a pompano on that underwater camera. I think we might have saw one redfish. It was moving real quick, and I was drifting. See, so that camera is not stationary because my kayak's always moving. So it was interesting. I caught the only pompano on that spot, I guess. So I was curious if I was going to see a big school of pompano down there as I dropped the camera down. And yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So we saw a couple different things, and a couple, you know, maybe there was one small tautog there. He was small. I always call this like high biodiversity, low biomass type fishing. You might catch something awesome and have a lot of different fish to target, but sometimes it's tough to get numbers. All right, we just took a handy dandy scissors and trimmed off all spines and stuff, and yeah, this should fit in my pan. So our pompano's dried up. We just patted it dry with a paper towel. We're just doing some basic white person seasoning. We're gonna add some pepper. This is actually a great way to prepare a pompano hull. It's a pretty good one. So we just put salt, pepper. We'll add a little garlic powder. We're gonna just lightly dredge it in flour, and then we're gonna just fry it in a little bit of butter and canola oil. Right, I think that should be a delicious little meal, and maybe a little bit of lemon juice. It's good fish, man. All right, we'll give this about, we'll see, probably 5-6 minutes aside is my guess. Typically, guys catch more of these from the surf than it is as like a fish you catch on a boat. So you just kind of take your fork in and take your little cube of pompano out, and we'll dig through it later. You can't beat it. So that's some interesting fishing. So today was tougher than yesterday was. We had a harder time kind of dialing in on a location. Dropping that underwater camera down was reassuring that there wasn't stuff I was missing, like I wasn't catching. But at the same time, one of the hardest parts about fishing is I feel like it's time management. And what I mean by that is, how long do you work an area before you move on? You see, we caught a pompano there, we caught a bull redfish there. So in my head, I start thinking to myself, I should commit to this because there is good biodiversity, right? We caught pompano, redfish. It was a fairly big area, and yeah, you know, it's one of those things. And it was an area I haven't fished much, so I was still kind of getting a feel for it on top of that. So a lot of different reasons. And maybe that wasn't the right choice. Maybe after, you know, I caught that redfish, and maybe even after the pompano and just not seeing numbers, I should have moved on. All right, I hope you enjoyed. That was some pretty good fishing. There's affiliate links in the video's description, everything you might want to know. And I'm gonna enjoy lunch and watch some TV now, so I'll see you later.